මේ පොලිටික් ගල්ලට දෙනවා අපි දෙනවා අපේ ඡන්දේ මුන් අපේම මව්බිම කනවා බලන්නකො මාවේ නැන්දේ මේ පොලිටික් ගල්ලට දෙනවා අපි දෙනවා අපේ ඡන්දේ මුන් අපේම මව්බිම කනවා බලන්නකො මාවේ නැන්දේ
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sri Lanka's first ever presidential debate. We have with us the two leading candidates taking part in tonight's program. So please welcome Mr. Vikrama Nikamsinghe and Mr. Chaminda Pusswedilla. Mr. Pusswedilla, I must ask you to leave your supporters outside. This is a closed-set recording.
Oh, these are not supporters. They are all independent observers.
All right then. Gentlemen, it's time for your opening statements. Mr. Nikamsinghe, would you begin, please?
Thank you. Dear friends,
Mr. Pusswedilla.
Dear friends, a difficult road lies ahead of us.
Mr. Pusswedilla, please.
Hari, cut here. Then, mouth's closing.
We live in an age where our personal freedoms are threatened.
Mr. Pusswedilla.
Mouth is closed. They are not saying anything.
The right to speak, to express our opinions, the right to live is threatened. Elect me as your president and I will protect your freedoms, whatever the cost.
Ah! See, he is already talking about cost, huh? Elect me as your president and I will give you any freedom slightly cheaper than he can give you. Why pay more for freedom when you can get it at half the cost?
You idiot!
Gentlemen, no, please. Go back to your seat. Gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, please.
The cost of freedom was a rhetorical reference.
Mage me වචන delete එකෙන් ඒක තමයි මම කිව්වේ.
Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Pusswedilla,
You continue.
I thought they were all independent observers.
No, he is still dependent. Others are independent. Carry on.
We need access to cheap energy sources. Elect me as your president and I will ensure that Sri Lanka will never go through ill-conceived hedging deals and will have access to affordable energy. Affordable energy to run our cars and our factories.
That statement shows that you are rhetorical. You have no grasp of economic creative solutions. My thinking is difference.
I think you mean different.
Difference? What's the difference? I will make oil cheaper. How? By importing it from China, where everything is cheap. I will also initiate a program to build cars that run on coconut oil.
Mr. Moderator,
And we
please.
will not be dependent on anybody. I will also export our coconut oil cars to the world, and I will also export coconut oil to the world, making a lot of money for Sri Lanka. That is what we need. A coconut tree in every home. That is my thinking.
Your thinking is flawed. Can't you see that? There are economic forces, geopolitical forces that you must take into consideration. Simply mouthing promises is not good enough.
That is what you think. Huh? My thinking is that I will give everybody everything. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Peace, food, clothing, education, ignorance, conversion, non-conversion, whatever it is, I will give it. And I will also give it cheaper than he can give it. Just vote for me. My thinking is what this country needs.
I am thinking now that your thinking is coming straight out of your backside, and I refuse to waste my time talking to a moron like you.
My friend, I may be a moron, but as a wise man once said, I'm a moron with a dream. And that is the most dangerous kind of moron. Thank you. Good night.
අම්මේ තාත්තේ අයියේ අක්කේ නැන්දේ මාමේ ආච්චියේ සීයේ රටේ අනාගත පරපුර බාර ගන්න සිටින දරුවනි මේ ළමෙන මැතිවරණයේ අද්විතීය ජයග්‍රහණයක් නොවරදවාම ලබා දෙන්න ගමේකම දන්න රටට වැඩක් ඇති එඩිතර වීර පුත්‍ර ලොකු පුතු පුස්වෙඩිල්ලා ඔය පුංචි කාර් මට හරියන්නේ බෙන්ස් වෝල්වෝ තියද්දි මරුටිය ගලපන්නේ බොඩිගාඩ්ලා දාලා ජීප් දෙකක් තියලා වායු සමීකරණය දාලා ඒට යන්න මෙහෙට යන්න මට කතිරය ඕනේ ඔබේ කතිරය ඕනේ මගේ පොකට් එක පුරවා ගන්න ඔබේ කතිරය ඕනේ විජය කුවේණි සාලියා සෝකමාලා එලාර කාශ්‍යප වික්‍රම බාහු පරාක්‍රම බාහු ධාතුසේන මහාසේන විජයබා කීර්ති වංශයෙන් මෙලොවට ජන්මාන්තර වූ අනිලමාන උත්කෘෂ්ඨ ගමට පිපිරන් කැකුල පිළිගන්න නැගිටින්න ඉඳගන්න මෙන්න ඔබේ පුස්වෙඩිල්ල මට පාර්ලිමේන්තු කොමිටිය වැඩක් නෑ විපක්ෂයේ මන්ත්‍රීලාට ටෙන්ඩර් දෙන්න බැරි පොරොන්දු දෙන්නම් බෑලා වැඩ කරන්නම් මගේ අනාගතේ සරු කරන්න වංශවත් ප්‍රතාපවත් කුලවත් බලවත් හිතවත් නැනවත් පැහැපත් සැපවත් වත්තක ඉපදුණු මව් ගුණාඳුනන පිය පුතු ගුණාඳුනන ගුරු බවතුන් මවිත කළ ඔබේ සහෝදර ඔබේ පොඩි පුතු රටේම බැඳින් නාමය ඔබ ඉදිරියේ පුස්වෙඩිල්ල ඇබරෝඩකට යන්න කැමති නෑ ජැක් ඩැනියල් වීලා shopping ටිකක් කරලා මිනිස්ත්‍රී account එකෙන් සවාරියට ගෙවා ගන්න මට කතිරය ඕනේ ඔබේ කතිරය ඕනේ මගේ බැංකු ගිණුම පුරවා ගන්න ඔබේ කතිරය ඕනේ දෙවටක් පාරක් කළ මන්මාවත් මහා මාර්ග කළ අටු කඩා පුටු සැදූ පිම්පලා වැව්තැනු වල්වෙල් කර වැල්ලවත්තේ පදිංචිව සිටි ලන් හරකුන් කර හරකුන් සියතුන් කර තට්ටම වනා මද පවන බිහි කර එලකිරි මව්කිරි සැමට එකසේ ලබා දුන් ක්‍රියාවිරහිත ඩැක්ටර් පණගෙන් වූ ඔබේ ප්‍රියාදර සැදැහැවත් පුස්වෙඩිල්ලා මට මැතිවරණය පරදින්නට බෑ බලය නැතුව බල්ලෙක්වත් ගණන් ගන්නේ නෑ මට වෙන රස්සා නෑ කිසි කොලිපිකේෂන් නෑ දේශපාලනේ විතරයි මම දන්නේ මගේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් මාස 6යි කට් 120යි ඉතින් මට කතිරය ඕනේ ඔබේ කතිරය ඕනේ
President Pusswedilla. Good evening. Oh,
Good evening, Mr. Western thinking.
gentlemen, this is quite unnecessary. Oh,
You remember my bodyguards, don't you?
well, clearly, yes.
Smith, Paul, and Hendy.
Yes, hi.
Of course, I'm sure you remember my secretary, Cyril.
Yes, of course I do.
And I'd like to introduce my good friend, Mr. Bernard Pagagil.
Mr. Pagaguing. And, oh dear, that's quite a large delegation you've got out there.
Just about 300 of my close friends.
Robert, stand by.
Right, I'm sure. Gentlemen, let's please sit down. Mr. Pagagiving, why don't you sit next to the president here? Mr. Nitharam Safrin, you can sit somewhere there. Yes. Right.
Stand by, Robert.
On you go. Yes. Give us a count, Lester. Give us a count.
All right, going live.
Hold on. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. It's imperative that I see the president for the interview. This.
Hurry, cut here. Come on, everybody.
Right.
Robert,
Yes.
5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Our guest on the show tonight has just won a surprise victory at the recently held presidential election in Sri Lanka. He's a good friend of our show, having appeared on it many times. President Chaminda Pusswedilla, welcome to the show and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Quite a stunning victory at the polls. I mean, you literally came out of nowhere.
No. I came from the president's house in Sri Lanka.
Of course, yes. Now, some interesting developments are taking place in the country right now. Your first budget is about to be voted on in Parliament. Are you concerned about this?
Not at all. You see, I have some very trustworthy people handling all the matters. Everything is under control.
We will keep our viewers updated on the Sri Lankan budget vote as and when it happens. Now, since your assumption of power, many radical changes have taken place in Sri Lanka. Firstly, some controversial appointments have been made by you. Well, your choice of presidential secretary, for example.
There is nothing controversial about that.
Your Excellency.
Mr. Cyril Nitharam has been an integral part of my political career. It is only natural that when I assume the highest office of the land, that he is made the highest ranking civil servant in the country.
Is he, how shall I put it, is he qualified for the post of presidential secretary?
Qualified has nothing to do with it. I trust him. He is my choice.
Right. We have Mr. Cyril Nitharam suffering in the studio right now.
Why not?
Yes.
මේක තියන්න. මේක check මේ පොඩි එකක් දැන් මේක වැඩ කරනවද දන්නේ?
Mr.
ඔය ලොකු එකක් තියෙනවද ඔයගොල්ලෝ?
Mr. Nitharam suffering. Good evening. I see. Mr. Nitharam suffering. One of the campaign promises was to ensure an honest and efficient administration. What are the steps you plan to take to ensure that as the top civil servant of the country?
අයියෝ thank you you're welcome. Please don't mention එපා. So කියන්නේ අහන්නේ නේ you don't mention
Mr. Nitharam suffering, let me rephrase. What are you planning to do to ensure that the civil service is run efficiently?
Yes.
I beg your pardon?
Yes. I am telling Lokka that we are winning. And I was right. We have won. We have won.
No, Mr. Nitharam suffering, no, we passed that.
Again.
Mr. Nitharam suffering. Sit down. I'm talking about the civil service of Sri Lanka. Tell me, what are your plans?
චොක්ලට් කෑලි 5යි සුදු චොක්ලට් කෑලි 3යි බංකි පුතාට ටෝයි කාඩ් 5ක් සුදුයි රතුයි
අනිත් කොලේ
I'm sorry, Mr. Nitharam suffering, was the question not clear? I can rephrase it if you wish.
in my time as settled to my glorious, honorable, excellent leader,
sit down.
I will ensure that all state institutions are managed efficiently, effectively, maximizing cumulative work and minimizing cumulative lethargy
I think you need to...
whilst promoting productivity and ensuring that all inefficient and ineffective business and work processes are negated whilst positively promoting harmony and peace in affirmation state institutions.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I also like to thank my father, mother, Ratwaya, Suduakai, Dangchoti, Allamagadra auntie,
No, that's fine.
Balagina Hamoma,
No, Mr.
Ape
Mr.
Shihan
Dharma
Kai,
Mr. No.
taking them up in and booking them up in
Mr. Dharma sir.
I'm eating a minute, sir. I'm record card can Hadari. I'm happy, sir.
Cyril.
Mr. President, now.
Your Excellency, President Pusswedilla. Must stick to protocols, no?
Of course. Your Excellency, President Pusswedilla, with regard to ambassadorial appointments. Now, Mrs. Mabel Payagala.
Payagala, man. Payagala. It is not Payagala. It's here. Mrs. Mabel Payagala has been appointed as High Commissioner to India.
Yes, on that actually.
Yes, she has extensive experience in dealing with Indians, especially through patronizing Indian food establishments. She loves the Indian clothes and she really likes Hindi movies. She was my obvious choice.
And the fact that she's your mother-in-law...
Has nothing to do with it.
Of course. Now, a great many promises were made by you during your election campaign. Have you started on fulfilling your election pledges?
Of course, of course. I have already started discussions with the Chinese government to import cheap Chinese oil. And we will start imports as soon as next week.
So the cost benefit will be passed on to the people of your country?
At the moment, there seems to be no cost benefit. In fact, it is costing a bit more. But you see, that is the way economics works, you know. Soon the price of oil will come down. I will sell it at the same price, thereby making a lot of money, which I will utilize for my grand plan for Sri Lanka.
I see. Now, in your speech, you claim that you're going to initiate a program to build cars that will run on coconut oil.
Yes.
Have you begun on that program?
Yes, of course, of course. I have already established a ministry for coconut tree planting, a ministry for coconut oil car development, ministry for coconut plucking, and also ministry for the welfare of people hit by the falling coconuts.
What?
Yes, of course. We are giving everyone the incentive to grow coconut trees. Each house with one coconut tree will be given a massive fertilizer subsidy. And a complimentary coconut scraper. Soon Sri Lanka will be home to millions of coconut trees. We will grow it on the beaches. We'll grow it on the mountains. We'll grow it on the valley.
Happy Valley Harana put in the coconut that is inside and then put in the valley back and the coconut plant is going like that. Sir, coconut plucking in the Minisu.
Mr. Nitarama Suffering. Mr. Nitarama Suffering. Sit down. Quite poetic, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
what about the car that will run on coconut oil? Have you made any progress on that?
Of course, of course. Coconut oil car will have 4 DVD players, power shutters, power mirrors, power steering, power brakes, all a full option car.
What about the coconut oil engine?
Yes, we are developing it. You say Rome wasn't built never on a Sunday.
Oh, sir.
Quite. I believe you're planning to build a new port in Sri Lanka?
One port? No. My thinking is different. No?
How so?
Other people will think of building one port. I am building 100 new ports.
100 ports?
Of course.
What for?
We are an island, no? Therefore, all around Sri Lanka, I will have 100 ports. We are already planning to build ports in Kolpiti, Bambalapiti, Vellawatha, Thevala, Panudura, like that, Sigiri, Nugegoda, Panudura, all over. Yeah, Norelia. 100 new ports.
Your Excellency, Does Sri Lanka have that much seafaring traffic to...
More than traffic there, sir. I was just making like
Mr.
big
Nitharma
ship
Suffering,
was a big
for
ship
the
was
last
going.
time, I'm going to ask you to stop disturbing this interview or we'll have to ask you to leave. Mr. Nitharma Suffering, thank you. Your Excellency, does Sri Lanka have that much seafaring traffic to warrant the building of all these new ports? Doesn't it seem a colossal waste when the ports of Colombo and Galle seem quite adequate and indeed are underutilized at present?
See, that is the thing, no? When you are in my saddles, you will know why my thinking is what it is. I will build these ports and then the ships will come. I say, we have so many thousands of ships in the sea, no? Now if I build these ports, and these ports, they have small places where you can get some food, like some milk rice, some fried rice and, kottus, like that. And then when the people on the ships get hungry, they can pull over to the nearest port, have some food, a drink, Sri Lankan entertainment, these ship fellows.
I'm sure you mean seamen.
Seamen?
Yes.
Shit, don't be crude, man. There are cameras and all, no? How many times to tell you?
Perfectly.
Anyway, these ship fellows, they will be spending foreign currency, and we will also charge a small parking fee for the ship. Therefore, earning a lot of money for Sri Lanka.
Yes.
I assume then that this tender will also be given to Pagagiving Road and Car Park Construction Company?
No, this tender will be awarded to Pagagiving Road, Car Park and Ports Construction Company.
Of course.
And they've already started the feasibility study. Mr. Pagagiving, why don't you explain?
Yes, Mr. Western thinking. The ports will have shops selling red rice, the milk rice, and fried rice, and also lump rice.
I say.
Yes, we'll also have a shop selling drinks and all, and also alternate medicine.
Medicine?
Yes, very good for the body. You'll be very happy after you have alternate medicine. And we will also, right, have some nice places for like Sri Lankan entertainment.
I see.
And then we will also build concrete iron poles also.
Concrete iron poles. What for?
I say, to tie the shipsmen when the ship fellows want to eat something. Otherwise ship will start floating, no?
Of course.
In the sea.
Yes.
And also, we will build the port in 20 days.
20 days?
Complete in 20 days.
Mr. Nitharma Suffering.
Hey,
look
hey,
at
hey,
We're going for a short break now. Back after these commercials. What's going on?
Sir, MPs are jumping from this side to that side. They are going to lose the budget. Sir,
I say, those bloody buggers, they wait till I leave the country to start defecating, no? This is why I told you not to stay in Colombo. I think you could have been signing these checks and sorting out the problems, no?
Sir, I can write the checks from here and put to the overseas accounts, sir. How much and to whom?
Come 1 second. Good thing I put the bugger into the parliament from the national list. Tell him to tell all his workers' party friends to vote for the budget.
Sir, don't worry, sir. Our MPs understand only one language, sir. And I speak that language very well, sir. Sir, I speak that very well, sir. Sir, don't get angry, sir.
Hello, Biman, Cyril, are you in parliament? Devanna, Maluban? I said, we look at it, are you in parliament?
I say, come, Melivan, sir. You tell your bloody workers' party friends, if I lose this budget, I will dissolution parliament and send all the MPs home. I will have general elections. And then those workers' party buggers won't even get 10 seats. If they want to hold on to their 35 seats, you tell them to either vote for the budget or abstinence from the vote. I say, we can't lose